Hello, I'm Kiara Crawley, and I'm a doctoral student at Virginia Commonwealth University. Thank you for joining me as I review examples of how Black scholars utilize adult education to promote social justice during the Civil Rights Movement. Specifically, I'm going to highlight September Clark, citizenship schools, the Black Panther Party, and their community survival programs. This session intends to encourage the field of adult education to intentionally seek inspiration from scholars that are not usually honored for their contributions to the field. Many of you are already familiar with the civil rights movement. It's a very active time span between the 1950s through the 1970s in which African Americans advocated for their rights, thus the rights of American citizens. This time period is freckled with landmark legislation and court cases, including Brown versus the Board of Education, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Voting Rights Act of 1965, the Civil Rights Act of 1968, also known as the Fair Housing Act. These milestones were not reached without bloodshed, and they were highly coordinated efforts led by Black activists and their allies. We're not going to have time to extensively review these terms. However, they are common throughout the adult education initiatives we're going to discuss today. I want to make sure we have a basic understanding. Critical literacy includes reading, writing, and thinking that acknowledges how power, inequality, and injustice are socially constructed. Emancipatory education promotes democracy to create a just society. Civic education is also known as democratic education, and it's the process of teaching students how to be informed and engaged. And community-based education is a strategy that mutually benefits students, facilitators, and community groups in which learning is encouraged and designed to create positive and social change. Mrs. September Clark was more than a teacher. She had an impressive and impactful 40-year career with the South Carolina public school system. She influenced and advocated for legislation that integrated South Carolina public schools to allow Blacks to teach and be principals and administrators in the school system. She was also the first Black woman elected to the Charleston, South Carolina School Board. After retiring, she started engaging in nationwide advocacy as a community educator and mentor to the civil rights greatest leaders. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. named her the mother of the movement. She helped develop, facilitate, and expand citizenship schools to over 900 locations throughout the South. Her contributions are underrepresented, but she's a stellar example of community-focused approach to adult learning. The citizenship schools were originally designed for African American soldiers returning from war. Due to literacy laws and segregation, many couldn't read or write, and they were oftentimes cheated out of their pay. As the social climate progressed and the civil rights movement came to be, these citizenship schools shifted focus to help African Americans pass the very racist literacy tests. By the time they closed in 1970, over 50,000 African Americans gained their right to vote. 2,500 African Americans completed civic empowerment and basic literacy teacher training. And then those educators went on to teach tens of thousands of Black scholars. On the other side of the country in Oakland, California, the Black Panther Party was started by Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale. They were highly organized and bodacious. They made demands of the U.S. government, and unlike the nonviolent advocacy promoted in the South, the Black Panther Party believed in their constitutional right to bear arms and to retaliate when violence was committed against them. This made them a target for the FBI's counterintelligence program, which aimed to target and villainize civil rights leaders. Although they were labeled as dangerous, they organized several community-based educational initiatives that incorporated civic and emancipatory themes. Not only were the Black Panther Party's efforts supported in Oakland, but chapters spread nationally and globally. There were chapters in New Zealand, the Philippines, and in London. Their community survival programs provided wraparound services to the community. One of the most notable Black Panther survival programs is their free breakfast program. It's actually believed that the American public school system copied this model for their free breakfast program. They had several food pantries, grocery giveaways, and nutritional programs as well. They used member dues and donations to truly care for their community. The Black Panther Party survival programs were so dynamic and included adult education initiatives that were paramount for establishing trust and promoting advancement through community empowerment. They had legal classes and clinics, and their learning center in East Oakland provided free GED classes, consumer education, and home economic courses. They believed in the safety of their elderly neighbors, so they started the Seniors Against a Fearful Environment, which included participatory research, data sharing, and educational programs. Their Son of Man Temple promoted liberal arts education in a community forum setting. Huey P. Newton described it as a place where the dreams of the people can become ideas, where ideas can become a practical reality, and where that reality can lead us forward to freedom. This is a very short presentation, so please scan that QR code below if you want to learn more about what I shared in today's presentation. I certainly want you to explore more about the themes of critical literacy, civic, emancipatory, and community-based education. As I stated before, I am a student at VCU's School of Education. However, I do work full-time in state government. So I have a vested interest in the intersectionality of history, politics, and education. If you want to learn more, if you have any information to share with me to aid in my learning, or we share the same interests, please contact me via email. I can be reached at crawleyk@vcu.edu. Thank you.